Welcome back, everyone, to another SYD Life podcast. And today we're going to be looking at regrets from bullying.
Yes.
It's going to be juicy.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Great. I have one thing to say.
One thing only.
One thing.
Yes.
Today, this is fresh, hot off the press.
Yes.
It's the 9th of July.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Shrek 5.
Yes.
Got confirmed today.
Wow.
Another Shrek movie.
Happily ever after.
Yeah. I actually I think I've only seen the first two. I didn't know that there were 4.
Yeah, Shrek for me, very clear first movie.
Yes, I can't. And the second movie has the
there's like kids.
It has the "We Need a Hero" scene. That's the second one.
Oh,
our guest is going to be able to. No. Loves. It's the fairy godmother. I think that's the second one.
What's
people
the song
love
that's like?
Too.
That one. I think it's Snow White, and she unleashes.
Snow White. What the heck is that?
Snow White.
Snow White.
And she unleashes all the animals on people.
Honestly, I think the first one. Did the first one? I think the first one came out in 2003.
Yeah, were you alive?
It depends what month.
Really?
I was born in 2003.
Yeah,
we know this. I can't make as many age difference jokes with you though because you're not. As
yeah,
old.
You're gonna need to find a new dynamic. Have you been to the 4D Shrek experience at Movie World? Because I feel like that's a real Australian thing to do.
I actually think I have.
It's full on.
I think I have.
Like when the dragon breathes out.
I went to one in Universal World in America, and I think it was for Shrek.
Yeah, wow.
4D things are wild, hey?
Shrek 5.
I think the people that created 4D thought that it was going to be bigger than it was.
Yeah,
people were like,
well, everyone walked out being like, I need to throw up.
Yeah, right.
That's too much. I can't do this for 2 hours. But 5 movies. Do we need 5 movies?
Do we need 5 Shrek movies?
There must be the money there. Because
Yeah.
every time a new Fast and Furious movie comes out, I think...
I haven't even seen one.
I mean, La Familia is very strong.
Right.
But do we need 11 movies?
Yeah. No.
It started as a street racing
There's
franchise,
some things that
and now they're in space.
Yeah. There's some things that I need a sequel of.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Cat in the Hat. I love that movie.
That is nightmare fuel.
Some people are terrified of it. That is
I tell you what would be
one of the most quotable
an interesting
movies.
sequel.
Yeah.
The Grinch.
Ooh.
Like
Because
what-
he's
like-
part of the town now, kind of, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's another good one.
Or maybe it's like he's grappling with regressing into his Grinchy ways,
Yeah.
but he's reformed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. There's so many things
Yeah.
that I'd rather people put
does
the budget
he have
toward.
bullying regret?
He probably
Does
does.
the Grinch?
I wonder.
Is
we
he
should
like
have gotten him
"Ooh,
on.
That one time I stole Christmas?
That one.
Why?
Oopsies.
Why did I do that?
We're going to talk about
It's
it,
a big
aren't
oopsie.
we?
Yeah.
We are going to talk about it. So we're having our friend Michelle,
Yes.
who I don't know if she has bullying regret. I'll be honest.
She is rumored to have dallied in bullying,
Yes.
and I'm not underplaying that.
No.
But the funniest thing is I'm going to join as well.
Yeah. We're going to get the
Yeah,
couch
we're gonna
out.
Get the couch out.
We're going to talk about if you were. We did the if you were bullied in high school,
Yes.
and today we're doing the you were a bully
you
in
were
high
a
school.
bully. Yeah.
And then the bonus episode is Alex is going to come back and do the so you are a bully.
yes.
So get
Tackle
ready.
every angle.
So you want to be a bully.
Oh, great. Well, let's
Some
do
advice.
it. Let's jump in.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, welcome back, everyone. I am now joined with Michelle and Tyler.
Hello.
Tyler's still here.
I'm still here.
I'm here.
Oh, Tyler.
The bad smell. Yes.
He's still here. So you guys are bullies.
Wow.
Wait, I have
Ex.
exciting news first.
Ex-bullies.
Hard launch that term.
I did.
Yeah.
That's all I
Yeah.
here to talk about. We're going to be talking about bullying regret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But before we say
I don't
that,
identify with bully.
sure,
Yeah.
Okay.
Anymore.
that's good.
Yeah.
Michelle, there's been some exciting news that I want to get your reaction on.
Oh, yeah.
Shrek 5 was announced this morning.
I've already been told. I got a message.
How many DMs did you get?
I haven't checked Instagram, but I did
Why
get
are you known as the Shrek girl?
She loves Shrek. Anything Shrek and anything Crocs is Michelle.
Yeah,
when
that
they
whole
brought
vibe.
out those Shrek Crocs.
Oh my gosh.
I was getting
Kryptonite.
DMs. I was getting Instagram DMs for months.
I think I forwarded it to you.
and and
That and the cowboy one.
The cowboy
Yes,
boot Crocs.
yeah.
And
We
everyone was
started
like,
we
"Michelle,
started
wow."
counting how many people sent them to you.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was
God.
incredible.
hilarious.
Shrek 5, I'm very excited. I've heard that it's all the same actors.
Yeah,
and
it's Mike
actresses.
Myers, Eddie Murphy,
Great.
and
Wow.
Who plays Fiona?
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz.
No.
Sorry. It's
Yes.
so hilarious.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've actually even seen Shrek 4, so
Yeah, we were saying that we
Oh,
can't
okay.
remember. We can only remember the
Yeah.
plot for the first one.
Yeah, after the first one, it's just.
But I was saying you love
merges.
Shrek 2.
Shrek
'cause
2
We
is
Need a
the best
Hero.
one.
It's We Need a
Shrek
Hero.
2 is
right?
literally the best one, so
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, are there any
Yeah.
bullies in Shrek?
Lord
Lord
Farquaad.
Lord
Farquaad.
Farquaad, yeah.
Have you guys seen the Shrek musical?
And the fairy
Because
godmother.
it's really good.
She's like
Is she nasty?
Well, they're villains.
in Shrek 2.
I
She is
can't
like the
remember.
villain, and
Actually,
the guy-
Dragon starts as a baddie.
whoa,
But then doesn't
redemption arc,
Redemption. arc.
redemption arc.
Wow. And you
Yeah.
guys have had redemption arcs. So
Yeah.
Yes,
I'd love to get into it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually stop
Dive
distracting
in.
into it.
Yeah,
wow,
yeah,
that's I've listened to these podcasts and usually this part goes for like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, we've
so
already done it
We've
though.
been working on that.
I'd love if you guys could
Yeah.
give a little bit of a experience.
Yeah.
Your experience with bullying.
Yeah,
What? Yeah. Give us
Yeah.
the goss.
great.
What happened?
I would like to say to start that it is
Mm.
a bit of a vicious rumor that I'm even in this seat. That's the only reason that I've ended up here is
You're
that
here,
people
though.
have just told people that I was a school bully.
Well,
So I just want
You
to.
grew up in Queensland, so
I did.
we,
Yeah.
we don't actually know.
Yeah. Queensland is different.
It is different.
different.
Especially like Sunshine Coast. I feel like it's a bit
Yeah.
more
Like, you got to
gritty.
be tough to survive.
It's pretty tough. I mean, well, to be honest, my experience with bullying was my school was actually quite a healthy school.
Right.
Like there wasn't a lot of
And
bullying
you said, I'm going to change this.
around. And I've said to people, no, there were no bullies in our grade. And then people go to me, if you think there were no bullies in your grade, then you were the bully. And I think,
Oh.
wow. Like I have my like
Okay.
moment of reflection and like, oh my God. So growing up, like, I actually personally didn't experience that much bullying.
Right.
If only like I was a bit of a weird kid, so I think people just like would leave me out of stuff, but that was just pretty much it. Like
You're
I
a
wasn't
weird kid.
Oh,
I was weird when I was younger,
see
yeah.
that.
Wow.
Yeah. I like kind of, you know,
Normaled out.
I had my high school
Oh.
glow up, but
Totally.
like I was pretty weird. So
Yep.
but I think I was very lucky. I feel very lucky
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
school that I went
Yes.
to.
Mhm.
That there wasn't a really intense bullying culture.
That's
and I
good.
also just could not care for the drama. The
Sure.
only reason I would say that I could identify as a bully was because I was like wanting to have fun
Totally.
rather than cause
Your
drama.
I can't
boundaries were
yeah.
different to other
So
people's
so
boundaries.
we'll unpack that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Ty?
What about you?
Yeah. I went to Cromer High.
Ooh.
The beach is local.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cromer High was a bit rougher, and it was
Yeah.
I
way
feel like it still has
more-
that
It's
reputation.
still pretty rough.
Totally. It was way more sports. You were
Mm.
celebrated if you were good at sports.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I went to Cromer High, and if you live on the beaches, you probably know the reputation of that school.
Yeah.
But like I had good friends, and my high school years pretty divided between like year 7, year 8, year 9.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I just like got the picture in my head of you with like the blue,
Yeah.
Oh my
like
God.
well, I'll get
emo.
there.
It's
right?
like you were literally asking for it.
I will get there. And then I had
Sorry, that's my
had a pretty like radical encounter with God
right.
at the beginning, like the summer holidays of year 10.
Mhm.
right.
And then, and we'll kind of get more into that as well later. But then that really changed me as a person.
Right.
So then my kind of year 10, 11, 12, again, were very different.
Yes.
So I think for me, like, as like a young man, I was like very lost.
Mm-hmm.
I just
sure.
didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
That'll
And
do
I
it.
was like deep into like the emo scene. Let me just paint the picture.
Yeah.
And I was like quite fat as well.
Sure.
So I was like was just confused in life. Was like black hair, blue fringe.
Yeah.
And because of that, did get bullied by some people. And I think that's probably justified for me than my bullying of other people as well.
Sure.
Right.
So,
hurt people.
which I
hurt
think
people.
is, well, yeah. There's
It's
a reason
true.
it's an idiom. Like it's it made it easy to justify.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, it was like, oh, I was hurting, so I was lashing out.
Yeah.
But at the time, it's not like I was kind of breaking it apart in my mind. I was just
Totally.
I mean, so many things you don't know what you're doing, why you're doing it.
Totally.
But definitely in hindsight, it's like, oh, I was just hurting so much.
Yeah.
That I couldn't help.
Yeah.
Like these things that were coming out of my mouth. It's like it's like I just had no self control
right
around certain people.
Yeah.
And that's so probably those early high school years to certain people I was not very nice.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Yeah.
The formative years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in your teenage years, you just have no idea what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Like
Totally.
someone even could ask you, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "I don't know."
Just generally
And
don't
they're
know.
like, "Well, why?" And you're like, oh, "I don't
I
know." Like it's just fun, or
Yeah.
it's just
Can I
yeah.
tell the one story that I remember from that you told me?
yeah.
That, did you like make someone jump from like a really high hedge onto like concrete ground? I remember you telling me that, and I was like,
Yeah,
I would've
we
been
had
so
this-
scared of you.
Okay, I think your issue is just boundaries.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I've realized. This is what I've come to
Interpret it
realize.
as bullying.
I don't know if we want to skip ahead, but what I've come
Yeah.
to realize is that what I've had to learn
Yes.
in hindsight, because people like you bully people in school, like you tease people or you made fun of people for fun, or like people were the butt of a joke. Like we used to call people like things that we thought were funny and that they laughed at because they just didn't want to feel.
Yeah, they had
But
to.
like looking back at it, I'm
Yeah.
like, I literally like some of the stuff that we called people was like, and we thought it was hilarious, and
Yeah.
we were like, they think it's funny too. But it's like,
Totally.
if
Oh,
someone
class.
called me that, like,
Yeah.
would I be okay? Like,
Yeah.
I probably would go home and have a cry.
Yeah, totally.
And a lot of that stuff was I was trying to fit in with friends, but also I've realized, like, I remember my friend Soraya, we did something once that was quite naughty. It wasn't bullying, but we pretty much wagged school and lied about it. And then Soraya was like, you need to go and like apologize to the teachers. And I was like, why would I do that? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And like I remember like we just used to do like, I used to be quite intense, and I think that she used to say that to me all the time, like, you can't say that to people, or you can't do this, and I have realized that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
I know
voice of reason.
Soraya was literally like, yeah, she was like, but what I've realized is that I never knew, like, I just thought that people were the same as me. And so,
Sure.
at least from my point of view, I was like, why would that person be upset with that? Like, it's just a joke. Or why should they care about that?
Yeah.
Or I'm just trying to have fun, or I would never get upset at that. And so as a teenager, I was just like, thought that everybody was the same as me. And then
Yes.
growing into a young adult and into my adult years, I had to learn very quickly that people, like, your relationships will not last if you just think that everyone's like you. And so
Totally.
for me in school, it was like, you're around your friends all the time. You just have to stay friends, I guess. And if you lose friends, you just find other friends in the same school
Yeah.
and whatever. I had great friends through school. But yeah, as an adult, it's like you can't just think that everybody thinks in the same way. I was quite not overbearing. Well, yeah, I can be quite overbearing in my personality, or like outspoken or whatever. And so
Passionate.
I think people with personalities that were more reserved, like
you could steamroll them.
like absolutely steamrolled.
Yeah,
And I
totally.
didn't know what to do as a teenager. And so
Yeah.
growing up, and obviously I moved away, and so I moved down to Sydney and ran away from all the people I bullied. And, so
Some
like
of them followed you.
some of them followed me here.
Soraya.
Shout out, Soraya. But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I think that's an interesting thing to think about
Totally,
in
it's very true.
hindsight of like learning.
Yeah.
Like I can't just do that
Yeah.
Like, I can't just do that as an adult.
No.
I can't just be like, oh, it was just a joke. Or I
Yeah.
can't just be like, oh, well, you shouldn't have reacted like that.
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely.
You
That's
can't.
a horrible
Yeah.
EQ.
And
So
Yeah.
as a teenager.
it's God as well, like growing your compassion for people.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
'Cause it-
patience.
Because people can become more self-aware,
Yeah.
but unless compassion comes in,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's like it becomes more a calculated thing than you're
Yes.
actually being kind to people.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, compassion and self-awareness
Yeah.
helps
Yes.
big time.
Yes.
Totally.
And as a
Yeah.
teenager, you're not the
You
most
don't have-
self-aware person.
Oh my gosh, absolutely not. And to bring it back to your story, my story about the hedge,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, we did make people jump off the hedge. It was like this hedge that
Which
you
was funny,
it sounds
right?
like a
run and jump, and we thought it was funny. And it wasn't like we were.
What's that?
No, justify it, please.
What's the thing when you like try and join a sorority?
Yeah, it was like initiation.
Initiation.
So we
So
started
like
connect
hazing
groups.
people.
We started connect groups
You
in
whack
grade
'em.
12.
And you
We're like,
had
let's
to
start
jump
connect
off
groups
the
for
hedge.
like into-school, intergrade connection. So we
Oh.
had this grade 8 connect group, and we made them all jump off this hedge. So it was like you'd run, and
Yeah.
then the hedge would be like that. It would drop off onto
Yeah.
grass. So it was like you have to run and jump off the
This
hedge.
is not concrete.
Okay,
No,
sorry, I
no.
thought it was concrete.
No.
It's really overconflated.
Sorry.
It's barbed wire
Yeah, please.
and a lava pit.
But it was like it was like
That's the
you
thing
know
I do.
hard ground.
Tell me a story, it'll be different.
Yeah.
yeah,
but-
yeah.
I will
But-
not.
That's
but yeah.
amazing. See, like God loves you.
But
Jump off the hedge.
Yeah. Well, it was more. It was a bit more peer pressure. I was more of like a peer pressure bully
Sure.
than
Mm.
like a
Mm.
you're ugly kind of bully.
Yes.
Someone's
like-
mum is like, if Michelle jumped off a cliff, would you?
Well, okay.
And
so
they're like,
well, Michelle would make
So-
me.
I know we're talking about Soraya a lot, but her parents. She told me
Yeah,
recently.
yeah.
Her parents, when we were in like grade 7 and 8,
Oh,
literally
no.
told her not to be
Get
friends with me because I was
get
too
away from
aggressive.
That is
Because I was like too
hilarious.
like physically violent. I was like, was I? Like I probably pushed her around a lot. But and
That
her
is
parents
so-
literally said you
Don't.
shouldn't be
Started
friends with
playing
Michelle.
soccer. It's good.
Yeah, you shouldn't be friends with Michelle. She's too much
It's
of a
the Regina George story arc.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I find that interesting. That's something I reflect on
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to bring it back.
Absolutely.
Regina George story.
Yeah. Do you at all reflect on how you bullied people? Tyler, I feel like I'm running like a therapy session.
Yeah.
How do you reflect?
I need tissues.
I reflect. I mean, I can tell you my story.
Yeah. Go
about
on.
it. So, like I said before, hurting a lot early
Mm.
years of high school,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I kind of got to a bit of a fork in the road,
Mm-hmm.
and I was really like, this is very connected to my faith. So, for me, it was either like, hey, completely leave God and leave church,
Mm-hmm.
or completely choose God.
Yeah.
And I ended up choosing God.
Thank
Thank
goodness.
God.
Yeah.
and that actually brought a lot of healing for me,
Right.
because it just in that definitive decision reconciled a lot of things that were like warring within me,
Yeah.
because I was trying to live two lives, trying to
Yeah.
do it my way, trying to do it God's way, and that
Mhm.
just messed me up. But in deciding the one thing,
Mm-hmm.
it really, and in letting go of that other stuff, it really brought a lot of just like peace in my life
Yeah.
and healing.
Yeah.
And God like really freaked me out after that, because I was just living in kind of like the joy of what God had done in my life.
Yeah.
And then I really clearly felt from God to apologize to, I remember he really like distinctly brought to mind about 5 people.
Wow.
I would be like, no, shut up.
That's crazy. I just moved to Sydney.
Who-
I just said bye.
who-
Come to my
well,
farewell party.
Yeah.
Wave me
The
off.
thing was that I was happy to like sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let bygones be bygones. Because I really, my perspective at the time was, I have changed.
Yeah.
Like God has kind of saved and redeemed me. Isn't that enough?
Sure.
Yes.
Isn't that enough? And
Yep.
and when I started to feel this kind of like calling to apologize,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I
Reconcile.
think there was like 4 or 5 people, I just couldn't shake it. And
Yeah.
and I knew it was like so important to God as
Yeah.
well,
Right.
because he put it on my heart, and I was trying to justify why I didn't need to do it.
Totally.
And it came when I really locked into it, when I was like, no, I actually have to do this,
Yeah.
was when I realized like the change was good enough for me, but it wasn't good enough for that person.
Mm.
Because
Totally.
the conviction like God was building in me was like, if people are going to see like Christ in me, unless I swallow my pride
Totally.
and face to face say sorry to these people,
Mm-hmm.
all they're gonna see
Yeah.
is the hurt and
Yeah.
of what I did or what I said.
Yeah.
And so there was like there was a girl at church who I'd probably just been a bit like bulldozery with.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
had to say sorry to her. The really tough one, which was just being like really like transparent here. There was this guy in our school and he was a few grades above us.
You
Mm.
bullied someone older than
But-
you.
Oh, that's a power
But
move.
That
here's
is
the, no, it was not a power move. Here's the thing. Our whole school bullied him.
Right.
Oh,
And he was just the guy that everyone would pile on.
that is
Right.
so
And he was
sad.
gay. And I think like at the time it was not cool or popular to be gay.
Yeah,
And
right.
so he was just like, I don't know how he survived high school, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
And I would jump on the bandwagon.
Sure.
And he was one of the 5 people that God was like, you have to apologize to him. And I was like, how, God? I don't know this guy really.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's graduated high school.
Wow. How do you
Yeah,
even
wow.
get in contact?
Well, that's
Did
my
you
point.
even have phones?
I just kind of like was like, do I what? Didn't hear you. Moving
I
on.
said, did you even have a phone?
Yeah.
Yes,
Got
I
out his
did.
Nokia.
Yeah.
Motorola flip. And the crazy thing was, Beacon Hill McDonald's.
Oh,
Come on.
I went through
Come
drive-through. This guy took my order, and I was like, "It sounds like this
No
guy."
way.
And I drove through, and I was like, "God, are you
Uh-oh.
kidding?" And I just couldn't do it. I like
or from
mad,
McFlurry.
mad chickened out, right?
Yeah, right.
But I said to God, like, if I meet him again, I will do it. I'll say sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I can't remember how much time passed, but it happened again. and I'm just like fighting on the inside. I'm like, just that pride is such a hard thing
Yeah.
to swallow.
Yes.
And I just didn't. I was like, ugh! I was just like, hey, like I'd paid already, and I was like meant to drive off, but I just hadn't driven off yet. And I was just like, hey, bro, like, like, do you remember at high school, like, I like was mean to you a few times, and he's like, yeah, I remember.
Oh,
And I was
shivers.
like, I really want to say sorry.
wow.
And I can't remember what he said. Like, you
Right.
don't apologize.
Just for them to be
For
like,
them to forgive you.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
have to accept it.
Yeah.
totally.
You know, but it is important that you apologize and you own it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I actually can't remember what he said, but I was like, I did it, I meant it. And that was kind of it. Never
Wow.
seen him again. Some of these people God put in my heart, like the severity was so different. Like
Sure.
for that guy versus maybe I was just cold to someone, but it was just important for me to do it.
Yeah, that's huge.
And
Yes. That is massive.
and it kind of, yeah. So it's funny. Like, do I have regret? Well, yes, but do I
Yeah.
still think about it?
Sure.
Not
No.
really, because I did the work of owning it.
Yes.
And I didn't just sweep it under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize.
Yeah.
So
I love that point that you're saying, like you do the moving on and you do the work,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
other person still carries that weight of it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's quite. We don't think about that in our day and age,
Sure.
or at least what we're told is very much just like you do
Yeah.
the work that you need to do,
Yeah.
and then your future self will thank you. Or it's very individualistic, and it's very
Yeah.
like we're told to just do the
Yeah.
work for us.
What
Yeah.
about the person you hurt.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
I think that's very interesting because
Yeah.
of just the world we live in today is just like, oh, just work yourself out, and then like
Mm.
you'll you'll contribute to society well or something or
Yeah.
whatever. Like it's
Mm.
not really much of like the deepness of the importance of reconciling relationships.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like reconciliation is so much of
Yeah.
what we are meant to do as humans.
Yeah, totally.
Like as humans, like we're not meant to just jump from friendship to friendship or relationship to relationship. We're meant to
bridges.
reconcile
Yeah.
with each other and
Yeah.
Mhm.
work through that stuff
Yeah.
together. So I think that's very like there's something really special about that, Ty,
Yeah.
because that's
totally.
pretty hectic.
It's
like
like-
your pride just
Oh my
wells up
gosh,
and it's like
yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in it for you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
In a like
yeah, there's like a lot of obedience in it
yeah
and
Mm.
killing pride in me as well.
Totally.
yeah
So in a way, like at first glance, I was like, why do I need to do this?
Yeah.
I've,
Yeah, on the
I've
surface.
dealt with this.
Yeah.
But there was so much internal stuff behind it
Yeah.
that I believe if I hadn't done it,
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably would have just kept going on with life. And as you do keep hurting people, even
Mhm.
though you mature, even though you're
It just manifests in different
Your-
ways.
totally. And the older you get, the more you can hurt people as well.
Yeah.
Especially
Yes.
when your relationships compound. I'm a
Totally.
husband, I'm a father. The
Yeah.
mistakes I make now carry way more weight than when I was just someone's friend
Totally.
or
Yeah.
peer.
Totally.
And yeah, I think if I hadn't sucked it up and done it then, like, how would I apologize to my wife now?
Yeah.
How would I say sorry to my kids?
Yeah.
Like,
It's like what Lauren
yeah.
McDonald was talking about in our last episode. If you
Yes.
haven't seen it, just like about the power of words
Yes.
Yeah.
and just like
Yeah.
how coming with such like a good heart
Yeah.
to everything makes such a lasting impact.
And the thing I really took away from Lauren was she was so secure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the
Right.
reason she was able to let people thrive around her is because she was secure.
Totally.
And I think we bully because we're insecure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah, that's would have been why I did it as a
Yeah.
kid.
Absolutely.
Like just lots going on at home.
In a nutshell, yeah.
Lots of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
chaos and instability.
Yes.
And you just like in an
Mm.
attempt to fit in
Yeah.
with my friends
Yeah.
who were like they were like cool, they were like popular
Yes,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Mm.
Like I don't know, in the scheme of things.
Yeah.
Like in an attempt to fit in with those girls that just so
Yeah.
weren't me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'll treat that person
That's
like
the
they're
role you
treating
played.
that
Yeah.
person, and you
Yeah.
just assimilate into that space. But you can't do that. Like if you are a young person listening
Mm.
and you're just out of school
Mm.
Yeah.
and you're in those early stages, like you cannot afford to do that as an adult.
No.
Like
Yeah.
if you are hanging out with friends and you're out of school and they are gossiping about people, like
Yeah. It's
you just
time
can't,
to
like
stop.
you just can't do that as
It's
an
time to
adult. Like,
stop.
that is like, it's just like, oh, every time I'm in a space like that and it's like gossipy or
yeah.
it's pulling people down, it's
Mm.
just like, am I back in high school?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that is crazy. And I
Yeah.
know adults who do that,
Mhm.
who are fully grown adults and they do that. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's the insecurity thing. It's like what
Yeah.
chaos is happening in you that makes you feel like you
yeah.
need to
Yeah.
pull
I
people
do
down.
think that's why the work of an apology,
Yeah.
because otherwise your high school will continue into your adulthood.
Totally. And I want to leave that
Because
behind.
there's
I want to leave that behind.
because in youth there's like excuses, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they were young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, like
Yeah.
you can't get away with this anymore. But if we're not actually owning things and apologizing,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
then what hope do we have of reforming any
Totally.
heart issues?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you will be that workplace bully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my.
You will be a bully in
Yeah.
your household when the doors are closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The angry dad, the
Yeah.
angry mom,
Yeah.
mom,
Mom.
mom,
Mommy.
the boss, the manager that everyone hates.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it might have started in high school, but if you
Yeah.
don't
Totally.
do the work of like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Humbling yourself.
humbling
Totally.
yourself,
And it is quite
yeah.
humbling.
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
It is quite humbling.
And if you don't humble yourself,
Well,
you will be
humbled.
You will be.
You will be. You will.
yeah.
You will be humbled.
Yeah. Sooner
Yeah.
or later.
Absolutely.
It'll come.
Even
it
if
will
the
come.
humbling is that no one wants to hang out with you
Yeah. Or you don't have deep
because
friendships.
you've burnt every bridge around you.
Yeah. Or your
Yeah.
friendships last about a year or two and then you have a new friendship.
Yeah.
And you think, why can I
Burn
never keep
through
friends?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Am I the problem?
probably because you're.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
always. It doesn't always come from you were a school bully, so now you can't keep friends.
Yeah.
like,
No. But
like,
it
not
Totally.
saying that,
It's
but
just where did it start? Started somewhere.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I guess kind of like the final question is
Mhm.
like, how has you guys acknowledging this
Yeah.
really like helped? I guess like form who you guys are now.
Mm.
Yeah.
You
wanna
go.
Okay. Well, I think I said it a bit at the start.
Yeah.
Really reflecting on how I behaved as a teenager and as a young adult. Like I guess I'm still a young adult, but like just out of school. So I moved to Sydney when I was 17, and I was just fresh out of school. So I was just wild, like living off Oz study, Centrelink, and
so early.
you know, just like
You were a child.
Subway sandwich artist, you know, just living it up.
Wow.
Like even in those early young adult years,
Yeah.
like so just no sense of self-awareness in how my actions affected other people.
Yeah.
And so I would draw people to me who were similar to me.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of friends who were very similar to me,
Yeah.
who kind of perpetuated
Yeah.
that. Like, great, they brought out my personality and my fun, and like I love a bit of mischief. I love pranking people. Like my pranks always go wrong. Everyone knows my pranks
You
go wrong.
always get me that one with the snake.
And that's a good one. And so
No regrets on that.
yeah, I love that, and I've
Yeah.
learnt to still love that in me.
Totally.
And not be
Yes.
apologetic
Yeah, you
for
don't want to just not be
the
fun.
fun in me
Yeah.
and the
Yes.
mischievous
Yes.
side of me that's
Yes.
fun, but also recognizing, and I think that's come with making friends with people who are very different to me.
Yeah.
Like that's come with realizing, oh, if I actually want to have this friendship for a long time,
Yeah.
I really deeply value my friendships.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, you're not wearing your ring.
I
Michelle has a
know.
ring that says I have the best friend. Is
yeah,
that?
it says I have the best friends on it. Yeah. I deeply value my friendships because I
Yeah.
moved away from my family so
Yeah.
young.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's meant that I've had to work on keeping friends and getting to know friends. And so I think being able to reflect back on, well, how did I act when I was younger that actually was quite inappropriate and like just doesn't fly. It doesn't fly when you're a teenager because you're a bully,
Right,
but
yeah.
it really doesn't fly as an adult
Yeah.
because so I think that has helped shape who I am today. Is I can be secure in myself and who I am, and I think still outworking it in spaces. I can be secure in who I am and you know my personality and you know what I do and all that stuff, but I can also be aware of how the way I act impacts other people and compromise as well. Like I can actually, if I love a person in my life, or not just if I love them, but if I care for being a kind person, I'll be willing to compromise
Yeah.
for the sake of that person's comfortability or
Yeah.
their
Totally.
thriving or whatever. Like I'm willing to compromise.
Yeah.
And whether that's me just being like, no, Michelle, don't make that joke. Like they'll get upset.
Don't
and
say it.
It's
Don't say it.
compromising on my laughter.
Yes.
It's compromising on me having a good laugh and making Tyler laugh.
Yeah.
I would laugh.
Yeah, and he would. You know, me not making that joke about Charlotte's. I don't know.
My shoes always get harassed on this podcast.
I
like
can't see
them.
them.
I like
I
the
just have
Connies.
Converse on.
Yeah, she just like
Forest
Anyway,
Green.
it's not St. Patrick's Day, but anyway, so you know stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a very long summary, but
yeah.
yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's and that journey like God took me on as well.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
massive time.
I think it's instilled in me, like a desire to bring reconciliation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what that's looked like is, because Michelle's right, like, hey, we're more aware of how we impact people now.
Yeah.
But in any given day, like, depending on what's going on, the stress levels, the amount of
Yeah.
sleep I've had,
Totally.
like, I will say something or do something that I'm
Totally.
like, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the good thing it's brought now is there's like a level of self-awareness where if I'm doing something or saying something, I go, okay, this is actually a flag in my life. Why am I being short with someone?
Yeah.
Or why am I using humor to hurt someone? 'Cause that was something I would do.
Right.
And it's a good flag for me to stop and go, okay, what's going on in my heart or my life? That is where I usually have more patience or more kindness.
Yep.
Why do I not right now?
Totally.
Is it because I don't like that person's personality, which is okay? You don't have to be best friends with someone.
Yeah.
Is it because I'm really stressed about work or money? Like it's just a good flag for me.
Yes, totally.
And I can I can stop and be like, oh.
Yeah.
And in that stopping also comes, okay, do I need to apologize to this
Yeah.
person? Like, have I already crossed the line?
Sure.
And that desire to bring reconciliation, I think as much as possible looks like short accounts.
Yes.
Yes.
Whereas
Yeah.
I'm not waiting months to own something.
Let it
Um,
fester.
So it's awkward anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you
So awkward.
apologizing for something you said 5 months ago?
Yeah.
'Cause then, like, you know, with your coworkers, it's like
Yeah.
you work with these people.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
your spouse or your
Mhm.
girlfriend, like you want things to be sweet and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and good between you.
Yeah.
And worst or best case scenario, you end up with like what we call like false harmony, which is like you pretend everything's okay.
Oh yeah. No.
Worst case scenario,
Yeah.
it's just outright toxic. They're
Yeah.
both toxic. They just look different.
Yes.
Totally.
So I really do think like
Yeah.
everything starts with owning it, apologizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Responsibility.
Do they have to accept it?
Mm.
No, you would
No.
hope so. But
Yeah.
but to that point, you've done what you can do,
Totally.
and then you make an asserted effort
Mm-hmm.
to grow from that.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I think it's just informed how I live and how I navigate relationships now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Which is really, I think, just a maturing of
Mhm.
Mm.
because
Yeah.
I wasn't realizing when I wasn't in a healthy place,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then it would get so far that I'd be actively hurting people,
Yeah.
and it would be so far down the line before I would be
Yeah.
like, maybe something's wrong.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
picking up those things like way quicker,
Yeah.
sometimes multiple times a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think-
Wednesdays especially.
Yeah, Wednesdays. Oh my god, today's Wednesday. That's really helped me, and
Mm.
Yeah.
I hope to keep that
Mm.
my whole life,
Mhm.
and in kind of every area of my life. as
Totally.
well.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for that, for giving us your experiences, for sharing, for getting vulnerable. I think that this will be really helpful for a lot of people. So
Good.
thank you so
Yeah.
much for your time,
Thank you.
wisdom, humor. We do love it.
And there was a bit of bullying.
There was a bit of
What's a
bullying.
bit of bullying? What's a bullying podcast without a bit of bullying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I spent the entire last one we did bullying Alex.
Yeah, there you go.
And the whole time I was saying
Yeah.
that I was bullied. So
Yeah.
thank you
Oh.
guys so much. Well, thanks, Tyler. Thanks, Michelle.
Yes.
It's a very interesting conversation. I feel like I learned a lot. It's a very interesting thing to hear about. So thanks for your time
You're welcome.
coming into.
But now I
To
want
give
to
us a
grill
glimpse?
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
sat back. I enjoyed
You
that.
did.
Yeah.
You're just
It's time for you to ask the
the angel.
questions. I'm nervous.
You should be. So I've scoured the internet
Yeah.
for. You asked me to bring one, but I brought two.
Yeah, that's good.
Some of our regular viewers may remember
Mm-hmm.
Shah brought 3 riddles for me.
Yes.
They were like level 1,000 difficulty. so
it's true.
yeah, the public humiliation was really appreciated. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's what I live for.
Yeah, so play along at home, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so
so bad. If any of these
Yeah,
are
good.
like maths oriented, we're done.
no, they're language.
Okay.
Yep.
I have a
Okay.
bit more hit with language.
Yeah, good.
But-
yeah, you're a bit more of a arts and language.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
get that.
totally.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, what is brown and has a tail, a head,
No.
and no legs?
A snake?
No,
am I
it has
wrong?
a tail.
It has a tail. Well, I'm thinking like a coin. But it has no head.
I'm gonna give it to you.
Really?
It was a penny.
Oh! Oh, you said no legs.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it has a tail and a head.
Tail, head. No
I
legs.
should have gone with my gut because that was the first thing I thought of. And then I got
I'll take it for
confused.
second place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A coin, yeah.
Gosh, I thought you were gonna struggle more with that.
I feel like that's a common one.
Okay, I'm like second guessing my second riddle now.
Okay.
Should I just give it to you?
Yeah.
Okay. You go at red and stop at green. What am I?
Go at red.
Yes, you go at red. So it's opposite to normal.
Yeah, it's not a traffic light.
No, no traffic light. Go at red, stop at green.
You go at red.
Yes. It's like, it's a very common item.
You go at
Yes.
red. You go.
Mm.
Do I like move or speak?
How many hints do you want?
Just give me one. Just give me a little one.
It's an action begins at red and it stops at green.
The podcast machine we record on?
No.
I need another clip. Wait, you go at red.
You eat it.
I eat it?
Mm-hmm. What is something
That I eat?
that you eat that is red
An apple.
and you stop eating it when it's green?
A watermelon.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good
That's
one.
a good one.
That is a really good riddle.
Yeah, I handpicked that.
I hadn't heard that one before.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You go at red.
You got red.
I mean, go is an interesting word for it. I've
Well, that's the riddle.
never been told to go when I've been holding a slice of watermelon.
You've clearly never done an eating competition. Go.
Go! I've been
Oh.
horrible at eating competitions. I hate eating.
Did you
food
get it?
stuff.
Those
Yeah.
playing at home, did you get it?
Let us know.
I would have got that.
Yeah. Would you?
Heart, lock it in.
Immediately?
Immediately.
I bet.
As the riddle king of this podcast.
Do I need to play the clip?
Yeah.
Do I need to play the clip of
Shut-
Beck explaining it to you and you still going, I don't get it?
Okay, that was a mass.
It
Question.
was pretty. I specifically chose it to humiliate
like,
you. I'll admit it.
Einstein would not have gotten.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Thanks for Tyler and
You're
Michelle for giving us a little glimpse into
Yes.
if you had bullying regret. If you're at home, hope you learnt something. Hope you enjoyed it. We are on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at sydlife.podcast. So check out all the content we have and we'll see you next time.
See you then.
This podcast is produced by C3 SYD Church. We exist to know Jesus, find community, and discover purpose. For information, head to c3syd.church, and for more content, go to @sydlife.podcast. Help us reach more people in Sydney by sharing this episode with a friend. See you next time.